Hello everyone, Bond Kellum here again with 007KTechnology. Today we're going to be reviewing the Moto G6. Now this phone is particularly special to me because my very first phone was a first generation Moto G and I loved it. But that was 4 years ago and I really want to see what they've changed for the Moto G version 6. Alrighty, so when we first open the box you see the phone sitting right on top. And then underneath the phone you have the instruction manuals and the Motorola quick charger. So now let's go through the specifications of the Moto G6. So first off, the screen. We got a screen with a resolution of 2160 by 1080. It's an 18 by 9 aspect ratio. It does have a fingerprint sensor on this model. The CPU under the hood of this phone is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 450, clocked at 1.8 GHz. It's got 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage, or 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of storage. The rear camera is going to be 12 megapixels and the front camera is going to be 5 megapixels. And the rear camera can record at 1080p at 60 frames per second. This phone does have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which apparently is an accessory nowadays. And this phone does support fast charging. Now this does come from the factory loaded with Android Oreo, which is Android 8.0 I believe. Now let's go ahead and turn on the phone. Okay, well it's not turning on. This could be an issue. Okay, well, let me see if the battery is dead.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it is just shy of 30 minutes later, and let's see how much the phone is charged. Okay, it's charged up to 52%, so that should be more than enough to boot it. Awesome, and now we're finally getting it to boot.
Hello, Moto.
So that was a pretty quick boot screen. Let me just go through the setup procedure here. I do notice that it is a little bit warm after charging, so fast charging might not be the best option for charging it. I would probably still charge it at the slower rate. I love the feel of the keyboard. So this does have a fingerprint. We'll go ahead and set it up just so we can see what it's like. Wow. So it is definitely a high definition display. It looks crystal clear. Now one thing that I noticed right away is it is full of bloatware. I have not even installed anything yet, and look at how many apps are on there. They're mostly Amazon apps, so maybe Motorola and Amazon are partnered now. Okay, interesting enough, you can't uninstall any of them. So that's an immediate downside for me. Bloatware isn't necessarily so much of an issue. I just don't want it to not be uninstallable. And unfortunately it seems like that's becoming more and more common nowadays. You get a 32 gigabyte phone and then realistically like 20 of it is usable. So it's not even, it really shouldn't even be advertised as a 32 gigabyte phone anymore, in my opinion, when they load it up with stuff that you can't uninstall. So with 32 gigabytes, we're gonna go to the storage. Let's see here. See how much of it is free. Yeah, 7.5 gigabytes used, and nothing has been installed, no pictures have been taken or anything. So that's only 25 gigabytes of usable space out of the box. That is kind of ridiculous, honestly. Okay, well, I'm not too terribly thrilled at all the bloatware that it has, but I have to say I really love how responsive it is. If you look at this, you can see it responds almost immediately to everything that I do. I open an app, and it opens it up right away. No thanks. So we'll go to livingonadime.com. And there we go, we got Living on a Dime pulled up. Liquidy smooth. Once it's all loaded up into RAM, it's completely smooth. However, once you get to the bottom where the pictures aren't loaded anymore, obviously it's pretty choppy. But that's with pretty much any phone. Then of course you got the Google Assistant. What is the weather like today? What is the weather going to be like today? What is the weather going to be like today? Can't reach Google. So one thing I just discovered is the fingerprint sensor also locks your phone. So if you put your finger over it, it locks it, and if you put it back on, it unlocks it. It's pretty quick and reliable too. It did not miss a single one of those. Now the good thing with this phone is you can activate it on a GSM or CDMA network. So yes, this phone does include Verizon and Sprint. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this review and say, overall I like the phone. I was a little bit disappointed at how much bloatware is on it and how little space is available out of the box. But again, that seems to be a trend nowadays, so I guess I can't really complain too much about that. It feels nice and sturdy in my hand. The screen is large and I can reach my thumb from one corner to the other just fine, but I have really big hands. I feel like if you had smaller hands, it would be a little bit of a challenge. I'd say the phone size, in comparison to a Galaxy S8/Galaxy S9, it's about the same size. It's slightly wider, but it's about just as tall. But yeah, overall, I like this phone a lot. I do plan to use it, especially with some upcoming reviews that I have of wireless services. The Galaxy S8 that I have does not support anything but Verizon. I bought it on Verizon. So I bought this phone so that I can have a device to review GSM services. So I will be using this phone in future videos. And I can honestly say for the $250, it is definitely worth it. And that's it for this review, guys. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I am a somewhat new channel, so every subscription and like helps. I will leave a link to buy this product down in the description below. If you use the affiliate link in the description down below, you can contribute to this channel and help me buy more products to review, and it won't cost you anything extra, so why not? Anyways, I'll see you guys later in this week with my next video. My next video is probably going to be about building a gaming PC for under $300. However, I was having issues building it today, so I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be later this week or if it's going to be a different video. Either way, I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.